Brian, perfect. Thank you for joining us here at Empower.
Mhm.
Truly appreciate it. Can you tell us a little bit about your business?
I work for First Watch. First Watch is a breakfast, lunch, and brunch restaurant group. We are in over 500 different locations. We're a growing company. So every year we're projected to grow about 10% each year.
Perfect. That's the type of growth that people strive for, I would
Yes,
imagine.
Yeah.
Nice. Can you maybe give us a little bit of an introduction about yourself and also tell us about your role in the company?
Okay. My name is Brian Veldheer. I am the infrastructure director for First Watch. So I always like to say I'm the wheels on the bus. My team is the wheels on the bus. We are the infrastructure. We're everything that keeps the business kind of moving. So we handle all the networking, Office 365, basically the whole infrastructure piece. And we also manage all the tools that the organization uses to help the restaurants.
Can you tell me how many people are on your team?
We are very lean. We just added this year, I doubled the size of my team, the infrastructure team. We are a total of 5.
Wow.
So we're lean. Up until this year, we had 3 people, and we have about 6,000 desktops out there. So it makes it a challenge sometimes when you're so lean.
Awesome. How many employees in the entire org?
In the entire org, I think we're probably about 14,000
Wow.
people in the org. In IT, we're probably just about 34.
I would imagine this keeps the 5 gentlemen pretty busy.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Nice. And can you tell us a little bit about your locations? How many you guys have across the state?
We're in a lot of different states right now. We have 500 locations. We have about 430 of them are corporate owned, and then we have some franchisees out there. Most people, if you've ever been to a First Watch, you want to come back to a First Watch.
I'm hoping you guys make it to Canada because my boss from the States always tells me how much she loves it. Wonderful. And how many endpoints are you guys currently managing?
We are at about we'll be at about 6,000 by the end of this year. So we're over 5,000 right now.
And can you speak a little bit in terms of what problems you were looking to solve in terms of the Enable solutions?
So when I first started with the company back in 2020, we were managed by an MSP.
Okay.
And we were roughly 360 locations at the time. And we were poorly managed. And so my boss at the time decided he wanted to bring it back underneath corporate IT. And so I had used Enable or N-Central probably since 2016. So I used it in my previous company. And at the time, this MSP was using ConnectWise. And I knew N-Central, and I knew it was a better product. We needed something that we could quickly roll out, something that I was familiar with. And so we just wanted a tool that I could easily teach other people how to use.
Awesome. And what challenges caused you to look at Enable initially?
Well, we needed a tool that we understood, and a tool that could handle the stuff that we needed. We needed something that we could easily remote machines. We needed a tool that could do patch management, something that we could transfer files out, install applications. Mm-hmm. And so Enable was the easy choice.
Perfect. And how were you addressing them before? Was it a series of tools ultimately?
Well, it was before they were using ConnectWise. And so, it was, they didn't want to, since it was an MSP, they wanted to manage the whole environment. So we really didn't, we really couldn't do much in that environment.
I see. And what products are you currently leveraging with Enable, and for how long?
So since I started 2020, we use N-Central, we use patching, we use Direct Connect. Oh, and we just started using Cove.
Okay.
We were using Veeam as a backup solution, and our sales rep said, "Hey, you want to take a look at this new product?" and we were coming up on our end of the cycle. We would have to basically buy Veeam again, and we took a look at what Cove could do, and it was kind of a no-brainer to switch over to Cove from a management perspective, and from that dashboard, and from the ability to do recoveries. I mean, Cove, meets and exceeds kind of what we need. We are a public company, so auditors want to see everything. They want to see the failures. They want to see the tickets generated and stuff like that. And with Cove, we can show them the online restorals and stuff like that, and we can show them a pretty picture of the machine that's been booted up.
Can you tell us a little bit maybe about some of the key highlights that yourself or your team has had while leveraging the N-able solutions?
So, well, the ease of rolling it out. So you take a look at, we were managed by a different MSP and bringing in N-central, and I was able to roll out the product in basically less than a day.
Amazing.
And actually use it to get rid of the other tool that we were using, or the other company was using. So in some of our acquisitions that we have, purchased, a franchisee, bought the restaurants back from them, the same thing. One of the MSPs that manages a bunch of our franchisees uses ConnectWise.
Okay.
So we can easily we have them roll it out to begin with, and then I just uninstall their product.
Can you speak a little bit in terms of the overall results you've seen since implementing it?
What we've experienced, I mean, we love the product. I mean, from a service desk perspective, I probably have to spend maybe less than half an hour with someone, okay, and to teach them the different aspects of how to use N-able. It's just an easy tool.
We love to hear it. Is there certain business processes that N-able specifically helps your team enhance?
Yeah, with our point of sale system, I always like to say it's running on batch files. Mm-hmm. So it's just a POS that's been around for a long time, and I can schedule reboots every night on certain terminals, our kitchen display systems. I can have it when a new device is added. I can have it automatically transfer files over, run scripts to install things. From an automation perspective, it's a great tool.
The automation is what we consider the secret sauce over at N-able, so I appreciate you touching on that. Can you talk a little bit in terms of how the N-able stack helps you reduce, say, cost and time, or in terms of implementing the solutions?
So from a cost perspective, not being an MSP, but being a in-house IT, the quicker I can get to maybe a point of sales terminal, mm-hmm, to help the restaurant get back up and running, that saves time, especially when you have people that are waiting in queue to pay. Mm-hmm. And, it's just the speed of the remote that saves a lot of time, and some of the automation behind it. The less I have to do hands-on is the more the product saves us.
Absolutely. We always like to think of it more as basically making your lives easier. Yep. So I appreciate you touching on that. Would you happen to be able to talk about any qualitative results you've seen since implementation in terms of, say, increased productivity, perhaps lower costs on some other ends of the business?
Well, it's being able to roll anything out. So anytime we have to roll out a new product that's integrated within our point of sale, if we can schedule it, we can have it automatically install. It beats manually staging things and sending things out.
What would you tell others that may be considering N-able for their business?
It's kind of a no-brainer. I mean, if you're looking for a tool that you can easily remote a device, manage a device, if you need it for patch management, with auditors, no matter what size company you are now, one of the things that, they want to do is they want to see the logs. I can have N-able, pushing logs into a SIEM. I can have it I can run the audit logs within Enable, and I can show what people have done. You have the ability to customize the security within the tool. So that way, if someone just needs to be able to run reports, that's all they can do. If you need someone who only needs to manage the point of sales devices, then that's what you can give them. So it has a lot of security features built into it that would help any organization, whether they're a small MSP to a large IT group.
Fantastic. And would you consider recommending, say, Enable to friends and colleagues, perhaps?
Oh, I would. I mean, when I look at the different products out there in the MSP space, or even in the IT space, I mean, there's not a lot of products out there. A lot of times IT, in-house IT and MSP, they're trying to accomplish the same thing. The scale is different. Recommending it to my friends, I mean, Enable is the first choice based on my past experience, and I've used a lot of different tools.
That's fantastic. We always love to hear that,
Yep.
obviously. Is there anything else you'd perhaps like to share with us that maybe we didn't cover today?
If you're looking for a backup solution, I would actually seriously take a look at Cove. From again, an auditing perspective, being able to show the auditors the success, the failures, the picture of the machine being booted up, and it's automated. I don't have to go out and actually do it myself. And the flexibility of having it, replications of that data being moved from, either a colo or even to Azure. It's a great product.